Bloody camera.
This is James Holder for iFilm London. I'm in the O2 Arena today for the Anthony Joshua versus Emanuele Leo for the weigh-in. I've just bumped into Sky Sportsman Spencer Fearon because he's looking very debonair. What's happening, Spence? You all right?
Yeah, I'm cool, man. I'm cracking on, doing my thing, you know. Hard knocks for life, peace, two fingers, toe to toe for life. Love iFilm London.
Now listen, toe-to-toe, I've got to give maximum respect to yourself and Ed Robinson. It's popping off at the moment. It's getting some serious numbers and it's doing great for the sport, you know.
Listen, it's not a case of that. It's like people just like to hear the rules. Yeah, I mean, Eddie and taking liberties. Big Spenny and little Spenny. Big Spenny, all right. I mean, it's my boy from back in the day. Yeah, I'm really thankful for or grateful by having the opportunity to go and speak, and it's kind of cool knowing we speak historical stuff, but we jazz it up, and Ed plays the really good straight man. You know what I mean? But you know, I think you guys are coming down soon to film, and when you come in and see us when we film, it's a lot of laughs and jokes, and it is the highlight of my week. Me being down at Sky is actually the highlight of my week.
Let's talk about the show. Can you break down how you see, firstly, the main event go in, and then we'll work through the card a little bit?
All right, then which one would you say is the main event? Would you say Anthony Joshua's the main event, or would you say Scott Quigg's the main event?
Well, for me, I don't know, it's hard to say. The world title fight's got to be the main event, no doubt.
I would say that, and look at that, the guy who just left me, Spencer Oliver, he would have, if he was around today, with Carl Frampton, Scott Quigg, Kid Galahad, he would have been in that mix. You know what I mean? But you know, Spencer's champion life right now. He's doing very good at Sky as well.
Fair enough. So, how do you see the Scott Quigg Salinas fight going?
That fight there, as Joe Gallagher has quite rightly put out, that Salinas has been stopped before, and you know, over the years, Joe Gallagher has been taking a lot of stick. You know what I mean? Because he's a guy he's a bit of a boffin. You know what I mean? He who lives the game and should be given credit for living the game. And what happens is, because he's so embedded in the sport for his fighters, and he loves his fighters so much, he gets taken away sometimes. But that doesn't mean that he's not a good trainer. He's an excellent trainer. You can see by the success that he's had with the four Smith brothers. You know what I mean? Let's not get twisted. You know what I mean? He's had brilliant success with them. And I believe that I like Scott Quigg's style of fighting. I like the fact that Quigg, if you look at his body, he looks kind of like Bruce Lee, how he's cut up. You know what I mean? And he has risen up to another level, especially after his Randall Monroe fight. That impressed me a lot, because I don't care. Nobody's ever done that to Randall Monroe, and everyone say that he was long in the tooth or blah blah. Rubbish. No, I don't care if you're long in the tooth. You're still a dangerous fighter, and he proved that he's of that level. Now he's got to go and bring it to the bigger elk of dealing with somebody like a Salinas, who is a very good, well-versed fighter. Let's not get twisted by it. You know what I mean? And what Salinas does better than most guys, yeah, is that he can pop his jab at you at a certain angle of his jab, and he comes out with a straight right hand straight down the line, like it's like kind of Bob Foster-esque. You know what I mean? If you remember who the light heavyweight champion of the 70s, he would do that kind of thing where he goes straight down the line. And you know what I mean? So I would say perpetual movement by Scott Quigg, and the fact that it's on home ground should give him the edge. You know what I mean? On a points win. Or you know what I mean? But I just hope that he doesn't get ego gets in the way. You know what I mean? Surpasses his personality where he wants to go out guns blazing, because there's a reason why. When you get two world-class, well-matched individuals, because this is a 50-50 pick-on fight, you know what I mean? It usually goes to the guy who uses his mind more, his brain more, you understand? And I'm seeing how Joe Gallagher's got his guys now. He's been embedded in historical knowledge now, and if you remember, there was a great trainer who he learned from. The guy where he got his tutelage from was a man called Phil Martin, who was a superb champion, who was a superb maker of champions. You know what I mean? At a time, he had four British champions. You know what I mean? And that was incredible. And he's come from that lineage. So he's come from that lineage. It's going to be down to the corner work. I will pick Scott Quigg on points, but it's not going to be an easy fight.
Pause and hold there. All right, Spencer, now I want to talk a little bit about Anthony Joshua's fight versus Emanuele Leo. 8-0 Italian opponent, super heavyweight gold medalist of Great Britain, making his professional debut. Talk to me a little bit about that fight, please, sir.
All right, now I'm going to break this one down for you quite easily. we go back to when Lennox Lewis in 1989 came over here and beat a man called Al Malcolm. Al Malcolm at the time, he was like kind of decent fight. I think it was like 12 and 15, but he was a Midlands area champion who made some major upsets in his time. You know what I mean? So he was a decent guy for Lennox Lewis. And Lennox being Lennox Lewis, we didn't know where Lennox Lewis was going at the time, because at the time we were still in Tyson Awe and Tyson Mania, and Lennox Lewis went on to become undisputed champion. Lennox Lewis dealt with Al Malcolm in 2 rounds. If you look at Audley Harrison, when Audley Harrison turned pro after winning the 2000 Olympic gold medal in Sydney, Audley Harrison fought a guy called Mike Middleton that was at Wembley. I think it was sold out. It was crazy. You had everyone there. On the case of Anthony Joshua, you see somebody who is relatively inexperienced. Do you know what I mean? But now he's going to be surrounded by knowledge. He's surrounded by a world champion in Darren Barker. He's surrounded by, you know what I mean, that camaraderie of guys in the gym, like guys who have challenged for world titles like Kevin Mitchell. That's going to raise his game, because he's somebody who's very precise, and he's a very articulate young man, and he tries to demonstrate that inside his boxing, because he does try to be a bit picture perfect. Me personally, he does remind me a lot of Sonny Liston, the former heavyweight champion. And I've given him loads of tapes, because he will harass me. Anthony will harass me and say, what should I watch? And like, I've telling him to watch Sonny Liston versus Cleveland Williams. You know what I mean? Sonny Liston versus Eddie Machin. Those kind of things. Watch Larry Holmes as well. How Larry Holmes could like pick you apart with a jab. You know what I mean? Larry Holmes had one of the greatest jabs in boxing history. And also Joe Lewis. If he can kind of like, you know, incorporate all of those kind of things together and make that amalgamation, he's going to do great things. The guy who he's fighting, I've seen him once, and that was off of a YouTube clip, this guy, Emanuele. And when I watched him, he was in the World Boxing Series, and I had a decent watch of him. He looks a lot more fitter now for this fight, so he's had notice for it. He's 8-0, so therefore he's going to be hungry, he's going to come forward. But you know what? Anthony Joshua has become Olympic gold medalist after boxing after 4 years. That is incredible. The matter of fact, after boxing after 4 years and going to the Olympics as a professional fighter as an amateur fighter, would be incredible. So him doing that and winning the gold medal, even though people do like to look back and say, oh, well, he was kind of lucky against Camarelli. Yeah, he was lucky against the Cuban. I don't think he was. Yeah, I mean, he got the win, and he's building on that. And I think what this young man's going to incorporate now is the new England, or new Great Britain. You know what I mean? And he should be. I mean, the whole nation should be behind him for the fact that he has all the intangibles. If we go back to the first winner of the introduction of being a super heavyweight championship in the Olympics with Tyrell Biggs, and he failed when he fought Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? You go through a list, there's only been 3 men that have become world heavyweight champion. 2 of them, you got Vladimir Klitschko and Povetkin fighting each other tomorrow night. Povetkin won the WBA title, but he also was he won the gold medal. And then you also had Klitschko who did it, and Lennox Lewis. But of all of them, Lennox Lewis is the only one that's become undisputed champion. And that has to do with something to his lineage, because no matter that he learned what he had to learn in Canada, Lennox Lewis is a true Brit. Trust me, I know Lennox well. So all the props in the world for Anthony Joshua. He's going to do great stuff. He's going to do great stuff. And I tell everyone, let's get on this ride, because here is a humble human being, a guy who wants to be knowledgeable, a guy who's personable, a guy who's good with kids, is a handsome guy, and a very, very good talker and articulate. At that, to boot, he's a whole package. Now, I mean, let's hope he can take it on the chin, but I really do think he can. The guy should be able to go on to become a world champion. Sign yourself out. Yeah. Sign yourself out. All right. All right, what's your name again?
Josh Forbes.
Right, listen, come here. Josh Forbes has helped me there. He was the mic man. He done fantastically well for iFilms London. Look at that. And everyone, you on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter.
What's your Twitter name?
Josh Forbes.
Josh
Forbes.
Josh Forbes. Everyone, follow Josh Forbes, right? He's my new iFilm London mic man. He's going to be carrying the mic for me.
Justin Bieber looks well.